Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon Ranger! So now that we have shut down every single generator within the Dusk Factory, we can now leave. But however, we're going to be dealing with something major before that. Yeah, you're definitely going to notice it as soon as we head ourselves back in here, because we're not going to deal with our next boss fight against Garret. You already know me as Garret. I also happen to be in charge of this factory's operation. I was rather perplexed today. You see, our machines kept us stopping inexplicably. Yep. I see now that you were to blame. In fact, you created quite a huge mess. It's gone beyond more annoyance. Yeah, it's ever been the mere annoyance. Scizor, teach them a lesson they won't forget. Yep. As I said before about the cipher being practiced, our next boss fight is up against the Scizor. Now, Scizor is definitely a lot more annoying to deal with than Cipher, because not only does he hop around like Cipher, and he's definitely a lot more stronger than Cipher, but he's definitely but you have to do at least 12 loops in order for you to be able to get him. So I'd say utilizing your just capture loops is essentially impossible. So however, if you manage to keep the Growlithe ever since the start of this whole Dusk Factory mission, yeah, getting the Scizor is definitely a certainty. So yeah, that's why I would say the Growlithe is definitely going to be very, very handy to you later. That was outstanding technique. Your skill level makes you an ideal candidate for the Garret squad. As you've already guessed, this factory has been producing replicas of the professor's Super Styler. While the loss of the factory hurts, the actual damage is minimal. For you see, the development of the new and utterly fantastic Power Styler is underway by the boss in our hideout. Your ranger has already witnessed its effectiveness. Do you recall the boss is captured Continente? Even as a prototype, the Power Styler's performance is fantastic. Imagine how much better it can be. So, you're welcome to enjoy the Hall of Victory of shutting this factory down, but any celebration is premature. I guess. Talk. He certainly knows how to do that. But what did he say? Power Styler? Yeah, that's exactly what he said. They'd steal the results of my research to make something like that? Just who is the boss of the Garret squad? Ditto, good job. You were magnificent in standing up to the Garret squad without fear. Yep, and that is indeed mission clear. That Garret character said some disturbing things. However, let us return to the ranger base. Yep, indeed we shall. But anyways, now back to what I was saying about Scizor. Yeah, just trying to do your capture loops without utilizing any Poke-Assist against Scizor is definitely impossible. Believe me, I've tried several times. Ditto, well done. Through your efforts, the Garret squad was driven out of their factory. In the place of a leader, I hereby certify you, Ditto, as Ranger Rank 8. Yep, at long last, we got to Ranger Rank 8. Now, the only thing that we get for being Ranger Rank 8 is that we get to utilize the very last Poké-Assist in the game. That, of course, being Ice. Hello, Joel. How's it going, man? Professor, I just returned. Ah, Joel, welcome back. How was Wintown? I don't seem to see Spenser. Oh, so Spenser's supposed to show up? We've got it. Reliable intelligence. The Garret Squad's hideout seems to be located somewhere in the Sekra range. Spenser has remained in Wintown to keep gathering intelligence. Alright. I returned for the time being to analyze our findings so far. The Garret Squad's hideout is located near Wintown. We should send Spenser support in the form of another ranger. Who will be good for the task? How about Ditto? Ditto has been mentored by Spenser and has experience. I think that would be the best and most logical choice myself. However, Ditto doesn't know where Wintown is located. The Dragonite bus can't be used in this situation. Yeah, not yet anyway. Now, I remember Cameron mentioning something interesting about an underwater tunnel in the Sapphire Sea. According to him, the tunnel will take you from Summerland close to Wintown in a very little time. Perhaps we should be pumping Cameron for details. Yeah, you probably should get on that. I see. That could be a solution. Ditto, you've heard. Take the Dragonite bus from upstairs to see Cameron in Summerland. Speak to Cameron for information on the underwater tunnel. No time to waste. Chop chop. Yep, indeed we shall. Yes, right, everyone. Yeah, now we're actually going to start heading towards the very last main area of this game, Wintown. But first, of course, we essentially have to go to Summerland before we can actually go there. So let's get right to it. Whoosh! And once again, dropped off like a bitch. And once again, here's Cameron to show up for us. Hi, Ditto. Welcome. I got word from Joel. It's true that the underwater tunnel in the Sapphire Sea is a shortcut from here to Wintown. Okay then. The tunnel ends close to a cavern that will put you right by Wintown. There's just one problem. It's difficult to swim there. Actually, it's impossible. What should we do? Yeah, how about the thing that you found earlier? Hey, I know. Ditto, didn't I give you something before that might work? Yeah, you definitely did. You know that heap of scrap metal? No, wait. That be the submersible Aquamole. Our mechanics been banging away on it ever since. So maybe it's seaworthy. By now. And speaking of which, we were just talking about you. This is our mechanic. Leader, there's something I need. And what's that? You got an itch on your back that you can't scratch? No, it's nothing like that. You see, I was getting some Talo to deliver some submarine parts. They started racing And it seems as if they dropped a set of parts in the jungle somewhere. They're key parts too. Can I get to you to help me find them? Awesome. Ditto. Sounds like your ship's come in. Actually, it sounds like your sub's about to come in. You'll help find the set of parts, right? Well, we're gonna have to if we want to get things rolling. Anyway. Okay, that's all then. Ditto. You must know the Olive Jungle like the back of your hand by now. I can't consider this as a real mission, but I expect you do your best, so like always. Thanks. This will be a great help. Yeah, that's right. Now we're gonna head us back to the Olive Jungle so that we can of course get the submarine parts. Now, even though Cameron said that we know the Olive Jungle like the from back of our hand, but however, there are some parts of Olive Jungle that we actually have still not been to, and it is actually past the area where the Snorlax was blocking. And speaking of which, that's Snorlax that was blocking that pathway now will be gone from there, because that's actually in the area that we actually have to go to if we want to be able to get the if we want to get those submarine parts. And I guess I'll just say this as well. Now what we're gonna be dealing with, with this mechanic, it's not now. Even though camera did not call it not gonna call it a proper mission, but instead of what I'm actually gonna title it, I'm gonna title it as a stealth mission, because, well, if you want to be able to get to the area where the submarine parts are, we actually have to avoid every single from bug type Pokemon there. Because this mechanic is actually this mechanic is terrified of bug Pokemon, and if you just happen to touch one, then you will essentially start all the way back to then you go all the way back to the start of the jungle. And also, the bug type Pokemon that you encounter along the way are definitely going to be annoying to deal with. Now, I guess I just say this as well. When it comes to the bug type Pokemon, that we are going to encounter along the way, now we have Wurmples, and we also have Beautifly, Venonat, and also Ariados. That be. Now, when it comes to Venonat and also Ariados, definitely makes them the very first time that you can actually encounter them within the wild. But however, considering that we're dealing with a mission, a stealth mission where you cannot interact with them, yeah, I mean that we cannot have them until later. Yeah, which is definitely unfortunate. But anyways, oh yeah, and also, and I guess I should just say as well, there is one other a bug type Pokemon that we can find that we're gonna be encountering along that pathway, and that Pokemon being a SIlcoon. A SIlcoon who is not located inside of a tree. Now what's gonna be annoying about those bug types is that the Wurmples, Venonat, and also Ariados chase after you as soon as they they will chase after you as soon as they spot you. And then as with the Beautifly, yeah, they could definitely be random for wherever they go. Considering, well, as I said before, Beautiflies are not exactly annoyed or even that much I'm scared of you. But they can also fly over those tall bushes where you cannot go to. And so the Beautiflies really don't seem to mind where they just happen to go. So we shall see how things go for this time around. Find the Aquamole parts. This set of parts was dropped way in the west end of the jungle. I don't know my way around the jungle. I'll just follow you, okay? And then as soon as we go, yep, a Wurmple. Huh? Bug! I'm out of here! That's not out. I forgot to mention it. I just can't stand a bug type, a bug group Pokemon. If one touches me, I'll be off and running like a cartoon character, and I'll likely end up back here. I'm not kidding. I really will split and run. Yeah, as he said. Yeah, he will immediately get scared by bugs, and then he will immediately run all the way back here again. Now, when it comes to his character model in question, now I'm pretty sure it's not him that gets interacted with the bugs, but it's more so your character. Yeah, essentially, yeah. If your character interacts with any of the bug types, then that's when the mechanic will start to run back. But anyways, now as I said, yeah. Now like I said, yeah. Now that the Snorlax is no longer belong in this area. Okay, now it's gonna watch over this Beautifly. And another one, and then there's that Venonat, yeah, all the way down there. And now we have a couple of Ariadoses, and this one SIlcoon. And then for the next area, we have a few more. And then we have a few more Wurmples, a few more Ariados, and a few more Beautiflies. Okay. Now once we're done past them, then we're essentially done with this main area. Oh god. Oh yeah, Ariados. Oh god, okay, are you done? Okay, good. No, Beautifly! Crap! Yeah. Yeah, and I think he essentially says the same thing. Except he says, I'm serious, I just can't stand bug group Pokemon. I'll be okay now. Let's go find those missing parts. Yeah, like I said about the Beautiflies, since they really don't give a shit about you, they can essentially just fly wherever they feel like, which definitely makes them annoying. Definitely makes them the more annoying to do, to be able to get past. Not past. Yeah. Okay, making sure we avoid them again. The Ariados, SIlcoon, Beautifly. Oh god, oh my god. Beautifly. Shit! Oh, really? Oh my god. So it was either that Beautifly ran right towards me, all by itself, without a freaking care in the world, or that freaking Ariados was gonna get me. Yeah, this is essentially what I had to deal with when I first played this game, because I just could not see the actual pattern for all these freaking bug types. Yeah, which definitely makes. Yeah, I definitely got myself caught by these bug types even more times than you can really count when I first went for this. But anyways, now before we reach the area where the submarine parts are, we can now get ourselves over here so that we can finally get our hands on a Bayleef. Now Bayleef, while he may not be terrifying of you like a Chikorita, but also Bayleef can also attack you during a battle as well. And you may need this Bayleef just in case for the thing that we're gonna be dealing with. Just before we get those marine parts. And you're gonna see what that is starting for the next part. And so until then, I'll see you guys next time.